Hey, you're listening to Not the Girl Next Door show, and I have 14 North with me today. Could you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the band?
Sure, I'm Brandon Williams. I'm the. Go ahead, Jake. Hello, I'm Brandon Williams. I'm the lead singer.
Who's going to jump in first? We are 14 North. We're a newer rock, 90s take on grunge. From Puddle of Mudd, clear to Deftones, Alice in Chains. We're ready to rock this Saturday, our first show. Anybody else want to take it?
Yeah, this is Zach here. I play lead guitar for 14 North.
This is Brandon Williams, the lead singer.
And how did you guys meet?
My name's Jake.
Oh, so go ahead.
That's all right. My name's Jake Kentner. I play bass and do backing vocals for 14 North.
So how did you guys meet and get together as a band?
Interesting story. I met Jake probably about 2 years ago, and at the time we were playing music with a few of our buddies, and didn't really expect anything to come from it. And actually, me and Jake are the only two surviving members from the original project, which turned into 14 North. But yeah, never really thought I was going to go anywhere, going to do much with it, and here we are now.
So how did you guys come up with the name 14 North?
I actually live on 14th Avenue North in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
A band name is a very difficult thing to come up with. We spent about 3 weeks of, anytime you come up with something good, either it's taken or something. So finally we just got fed up, and I guess Zach was just driving down the street and looked up and said, you know what, 14 North would be a good name. And it is. It's good. It's a good name.
I'm totally biased because I live on the street, but
of course you are.
So I have to ask you, because you kind of mentioned it in the beginning, I got to ask you first off who your musical influence are, because in all reality, when I first heard your song Face Down, I thought Puddle of Mudd. So that was instantly where my brain went to. So what are some of your musical influences?
I think we're all a little different, but the basis of it is kind of 90s grunge stuff, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Soundgarden, stuff like that, and and some of the other ones. Obviously, Puddle of Mudd, like you mentioned, is a huge influence on us. Seether, kind of like the post-grunge hard rock era.
I think we pretty much all are close to the same age and grew up. We're 90s grunge kids, essentially.
Yeah, that's me. Did I read that? Did somebody from Puddle of Mudd produce the song Face Down?
Yeah. At one point in time, there was a guy playing with them named Damon Starkey. He's also the lead singer for a band called Burn Season. And, he produced and co-wrote our album, or our EP.
And how did that happen? Were you guys just friends with him, and that was all set up, or how'd you guys do that?
He's a local. We released a song about a year or so ago now, and somebody heard it on Facebook and contacted me and said, "Hey, you should try and take this to the next level. I know a really good producer in town. He's really well known." And we decided to record an EP with him.
So did the direction change a little bit? I mean, did your sound change at all, or was this like how, was this production of Face Down like the sound that you'd always had when you guys had been together as a band?
We sort of had an idea for what we wanted going in, just that sort of grungy sound, like we were talking about earlier with our influences, and we went in with a couple songs pre-written, and then with Damien's help, we kind of pulled them apart and reworked them to get a more uniform sound that you hear now.
And how does the musical process work for you guys as a band? Do you guys have one writer? Do you guys all chime in and write? Do you have whoever's playing guitar write their part, or do you guys all do it as a group? How does it work for 14 North, the musical process?
Well, as of 14 North, it's gonna be a new experience. We actually had a different singer and songwriter for this EP who's no longer with us, but. Yeah, it was basically lay down a guitar part and throw drums in the mix, put some bass down, and then start writing some lyrics, come up with a melody, and ta-da.
So well, then let's just talk about the song Face Down. Tell us a little bit about what the song's about.
So the inspiration for that song was written by one of our previous bandmates, Keith Lonergan, like Zach said, who's no longer with us. And that was kind of a collaborative effort based on some lyrics that he had written, because I think a lot of us go through dark times and we go through low points in our life, and how we come out the other side is really what defines us as people, and that's kind of what that song is about. This period of self-destruction and having to come to that low point in order to find the high points ahead, like that reconstruction based on the lowest points of our lives.
And then you guys have is it a new complete full-length album? Is it a smaller EP coming out on October 27th?
It's going to be a 5-song EP. It'll be out this Saturday, like you said, October 27th. Which is also the day of our debut performance in St. Augustine at a bar called Shanghai Nobies.
And what can fans expect? I mean, you said this is your first show, so what can they expect from 14 North as a band, at a live show?
Probably some really good music, a good time. We're going to be energetic. We're going to be live. We're really excited to finally, get out there and play, man, and just show some people what we got. We got the songs. We've already got just a lot of feedback, and we're just ready to kind of get out there and get in front of people's faces and have a good time.
Now, if you guys could plan, after this live show, if somebody came up and said, we want to do the ultimate tour with you, you guys could pick any band you wanted to go on tour with. Who would you guys want to tour with anyway?
It's difficult. I'd say Seether right here, right now.
I'd have to agree with that.
It's so difficult. There's so many good bands out there that I would love to go on tour with.
Name it. Breaking Benjamin for me. I would love that. Jake?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think it's a very contentious issue. We all have, our influences that we hold near and dear to our hearts. So I think, we could lose the band over having to answer that question.
And it just began, so. So do you guys have, for 2018, do you guys have intentions on touring? And what do you guys have planned next after your first show? Or is it just a slow step-by-step right now? Or what do you guys have going on?
We're just looking to play as many shows as possible and get our name out there around town and, kind of get out in the local music scene and eventually venture out. We have plans to record some more material early 2019, so be on the lookout for that as well. But we just want to get out there and play. It's been a long process getting here, and it just feels so good. It's almost unreal that we're playing a show finally and releasing our music out there. It's great.
How is it where you guys live? How is the rock? I hate to use the word scene because this cheapens it, but how is the area where you guys live with rock bands? Is there a lot of rock music? Are there a lot of live shows? Do they draw the crowds, or how is it where you guys are?
There's really, it's really not. It's kind of spread thin. There's really not a whole lot of rock bands. There's a lot of indie stuff. The metal scene is pretty strong. It's kind of a struggle to find people to play with, and stuff like that. But like I said, we're looking to start venturing out into neighboring towns and stuff like that, and get our name out there as much as possible.
I would probably say it's a good reason why we're getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people are digging this because, like Zach just said, that this local area here is a little thinner on our style of music. So for us, it really is working out pretty well. I mean, it seems to be getting a lot of feedback, almost as if people want to hear more of this kind of stuff.
I feel like people miss this kind of music too.
Yeah.
It's not really mainstream as it used to be. There's this new alternative style of music that I feel like is pushed out there, and there's so many people at all these festivals that you go to or you see with bands that still tour that are with our influences. There's thousands and thousands of people still showing up. They dig it. There's not too many bands that are coming out with this type of music. So we're excited, man. We're excited to see what's going to happen with it.
Has it always been like that in Florida where you guys are? Like, has it always been, or has it been like it is here? Like back in the day, you could go to any show anywhere, any city, and it would be jam-packed full of people with.
Yeah.
Didn't matter who was there. And now it's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's how you guys describe it. Of course, here I'm in Illinois. So was it like that? Years ago, was it like that where it was packed with rock music fans?
Absolutely, and I mean, there used to be amazing bands coming out of Jacksonville and really the North Florida area. Tom Petty came out of Gainesville. We had Leonard Skinner out of Jacksonville, Shinedown, Puddle of Mud. Jacksonville used to be where a lot of really good, especially southern rock bands were coming out of, and I think that's an element that's definitely been lacking for the last decade or so, and I think people are looking for more of that.
I have to agree. Do you think that YouTube or social media plays a part on, instant gratification when people hear music and people don't? Sometimes I think not to knock younger people, but they don't appreciate the live music like maybe somebody older like myself does. Do you think that social media and YouTube has a lot to do with that?
I'd have to say so. Yeah, maybe some. But there's still people that go out to a lot of these live shows.
Right.
A lot of these big bands that play. But yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, it's so accessible now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any type of music that you want to listen to is extremely accessible. But that's also, that might be a slight con, but it's also a huge plus. Like just on social media alone, with just releasing one single. The feedback that we've gotten is a lot more than what we thought with just one single, Like we said, we haven't even played a show yet, and we've got thousands of followers on Instagram, So it's really cool. It's really interesting to see. And so we're really excited to, release this EP, see what happens, start playing some shows, and see what opportunities come our way. And I have a good feeling about it.
And in answer to your question also, I think it's the same reason that people still buy vinyl. There's something about the live concert experience that you can't emulate through digital media or social media. There's always going to be a market for that. I think Facebook, YouTube, Instagram just adds another layer to it, but it will never replace the true live music experience.
Yeah, I actually talk about it. I talk about it constantly on my show. I mean, because like I told you, I'm a little older, so I've been going to shows since I was the first, show I went to was when I was 17, and it was Pantera, Type O Negative show. So, yeah. I mean,
nice.
It's not just the music itself, like you said, it's the experience. And I think people that haven't been to a live show, younger people that have never been to a live show, and, they do rely on social media or YouTube or whatever it is they rely on for their music. It's not just the music, it's the experience, people that are out there that are like you and, making friends. And I mean, I think people don't, for me, it's all a rush, and it always has been and it always will be. So I talk about that all the time, about getting out to a live show, no matter who it is, no matter how small or how large the band is, get out if you can to a show, because there's no experience like that ever. So
I think it's hard to replace the atmosphere that's given when you play a live show or go and experience a live show. The atmosphere, when you listen to something on a recording, yeah, it's great. You might dig the song, but as far as the whole atmosphere of, you know, the lights, the loud noise, and all the people going crazy. You know, there's nothing like it.
And especially for a band, there's nothing like it. I mean, you guys get to experience people, you know, enjoying something that you work so hard for, and writing those lyrics and getting the message out there, and people mouthing back those lyrics to you. I mean, you know, I've asked bands before, how does that feel? And, you know, this is your first show, but it sounds like, you know, you guys have been in bands before, and that aspect of just seeing people, you know, loving what you do and, you know, reveling in what you do has to be amazing.
Yeah, it's a whole other element. I mean, I remember going to like some of my first shows was like a lot of Ozfest and stuff, and going from that and falling in love with music and starting to play guitar and sing and write songs, and to go from that to be able to be in front of people and people just be into it and feel the music and react to it is a whole nother experience, you know. I
definitely agree. So when you guys release, it's pretty much an album release party you guys are having on October 27th.
Essentially, yeah.
It's essentially so. What happens? You guys release your music. Is it going to be on all of the outlets? Is it going to be all over social media? Where can everyone find you?
It'll be on all major listening platforms, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, everything you can probably think of.
And do you guys have plans on making, you know, more music videos for your songs after the release, or?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna work on getting some more content out there. Like I said earlier, probably early 2019, somewhere around that time.
Definitely. Well, anytime you guys want to come on the show, anytime you guys want to release a new video or a new song, feel free to hit me up. I would love to share your stuff. Come talk to me when you guys got a show going on too, and we would love to share your stuff too. And I appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.